Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of updates, usually I go about on Twitter X. And I'm feeling a little bit better considering yesterday and the past few days. Let's see if it's up from here. Regarding my shortness of breath, I'm a little bit better. Okay. Later today, I will be able to publish a Midnight Sense episode later today. And just a reminder, I've got some active gameplay series here, especially I still have Monster Hunter Wilds, the 5 videos that I managed to make on the beta phase there. And again, live streams, I need to put everything in order to see if I can at least starting with 1 day per week or something like that. But yeah, let's go to the news. Going to try to make it very short here. We got kind of confirmation, even though this is rumor stuff, regarding the UDNA. So the unified architecture that I don't remember, Jack Yuan, I don't remember his position on AMD, that was announced a couple of months ago or something like that, regarding unifying the RDNA and the CDNA, which for the CPU stuff. So the architecture is going to be all together. I think it will improve. It might not be something that we noticed in the next generation when this unified DNA comes out. So the next CPUs and GPUs here, but at least I think they are going to try, according to the rumor again, entering mass production in second quarter 2026. So we are still a bit far off. From this rumor here, from this Yang Jong How something, I think I'm not mispronouncing. Sorry. Supposedly, the final RDNA, so the Radeon, the DNA architecture thing here, is going to be RDNA 4. There will be no RDNA 5, so it's going to be UDNA 1, I suppose. But it's going to, I think they're probably going to maintain the series RX 9000s. They also coming up the accelerator, so the AI accelerator stuff for the servers thing. And this RX 9000 will use both UDNA. I'm not sure regarding there is no CPU stuff. I think where they approach here CPUs is for PlayStation 6, which supposedly is going to adopt this unified architecture here. They are still undecided between Zen 4 and Zen 5. I think PlayStation 5 Pro is still on Zen 2. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure how that is on PlayStation 5, but I think they should be going for Zen 5. Makes more sense. The architecture is smaller. The manufacturing process is smaller. It has a better performance in the overall scheme of things, at least given that Zen 4 it's starting to get a little bit older by 2026. I think we'll start to see Zen 6 when RX 9000 probably will launch. I'm not sure yet. But regarding the Sony stuff there, I think the PlayStation 6 is going to probably going to Zen 5 with RX 9000. So with the UDNA stuff, the first version of it, it will be adopted on PlayStation 6. But they are still, I think they are going also for an handheld in I think it's between PlayStation 6 and handheld. I'm not sure, but Microsoft is being thrown around some teasers. They also might be going for the next Xbox Series, whatever it's going to called. I think they're going to adopt, trying to get around on getting a little bit on the handheld stuff there, which kind of makes sense given the priority that they'll have regarding Xbox Game Pass stuff there. It matches on the handheld to a certain degree. It's kind of supposedly plus one hardware there where they can't control it as a hardware to be to have the Xbox ecosystem there. The same kind of way we have Steam, the Steam handheld there. Yeah, this information from this guy supposedly comes from the supply chain. So I don't know. It's something that these kind of things with supply chain stuff, from manufacturing to delivering the goods and everything, has to be done with some anticipation. So it's not something that you do it from one month to another. There are kind of plans, I will say, in terms of projections. And I think this rumor comes from those projections. For example, the mass production around quarter two, which in 2026. So we are basically 2 years from now. But yeah, I think what is going to be more interesting coming out of UDNA is the fact that I'm assuming, given that on PS5 Pro now we already have the NPU, which I think is going to be focused on, at least on the consoles, on the PISR technology, the upscaling technology, going to try to leverage that on as an AI upscaler. But yeah, and I think this might be something they might introduce for the GPU stuff there. And to a certain extent, I'm not sure how they can leverage NPUs for the AI accelerators. I'm not sure how that will work. But in the DIY sector, I think this can be leveraged, especially on the GPU side of things, for at least for the upscaling. So FSR 4 and upcoming versions of that. Yeah, I think it might be something that hopefully it will be on par, or at least be competitive with the standard at this moment in time, which is DLSS. But yeah, hopefully this will start fit together, and we'll have at least a good unified DNA stack of products for the DIY sector, being the GPUs and the CPUs, which can be leveraged better than that they are at this moment in time. I think the last time that AMD used a unified architecture was during the Vega launch, which has been a while there. But yeah, overall, my thoughts regarding this rumor is kind of puts itself in line with basically the plans that Chuck Yuan said a couple of months ago in some interviews. But I think we only going to see, I don't know, more detailed stuff upcoming regarding this first UADNA unified architecture thing, the second half of next year. We still have the RDNA 4 to be launched in the GPU side. I think we're probably going to see Zen 6 in the meantime next year to be launched. And then afterwards, the next lineup of GPUs and CPUs and the AI accelerators will be in this unified architecture, and hopefully they can be well leveraged to be competitive on the market where they are coming from. Then, in terms of gaming, we got finally some more details regarding numbers from Remedy and their games here, especially from Alan Wake 2. We've been seeing from the last, I don't know, 6 months or so that they almost got, in terms of revenue, almost managed to pay themselves in terms of marketing and production budget for Alan Wake 2. And we got now a concrete number, which is basically 1.8 million units sold for the game. Again, still a little bit far off, even though from what I understand, the budget for this game was not hugely expensive, in the sense reaching like $250 million that we see with the huge Concord kind of numbers there, or around about that kind of segmentation of I don't know, stupid projects there. Yeah, I think the estimation should be around $4 to $5 million. I think Alan Wake 2 might have around 100 to 150 million dollars in terms of production budget. At least that's my prediction, give or take. And I think at minimum they will need to sell minimum 5 millions to start seeing some reaching to pay the game for themselves there. Got some news also for projections of Control 2. I did play Control. in these last few weeks, and it's a very enjoyable one. And the way they tied together Alan Wake, at least the first game, Alan Wake and Control, the way the mythology they are trying to establish there, it's very interesting. It leaves itself open to a lot of possibilities, which is good. The character Faden, it's an interesting character there, even though there is not. If you just follow through the main story and you don't pay attention too much to the lore that it's on items that you can catch and the reports and the such and the correspondence, it's a little bit pretty open, the past that they had. It seems like was an accident that happened, and then her, a little bit spoilery here, and her brother got the powers per se that you afterwards you can upgrade in the game. But yeah, the lore, how it's set up, I quite enjoyed it. It's pretty good. And yeah, I think Control 2, given what I've saw so far from Alan Wake 2, the interconnection that there is there, I think they can make some corrections, especially regarding Alan Wake 2, forward with this Remedy connected universe. I think with a few corrections, I think they can do a pretty good universe for themselves there, to be explored in other games that, and me even try to create new IPs where can be connected to this universe. And Control 2, supposedly it's going to, at least the estimate is around 50 million euros in terms of budget. The first one cost 30 millions. And they project that sales of around between 3 to 4 million units will be required to fully recuperate the budget. So after the mark of, let's say, 4 million units and upwards, they will start getting profit out of the game, taking consideration the budget, which is good because it keeps the budgets from this game seem to be in line in keeping the budgets in control there. And also the first Control has sold around 4.5 million units to date, while 19 million players have accessed the game in total. Again, this is including Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, and I'm not sure if Epic Game Store. I think Epic Game Store also deliver the game for free, so and I'm not sure if it's going to count as a sale. I'm not sure how that worked there. But yeah, in terms of raw millions units sold today to date is around 4.5 millions, which is not that bad. Given that Remedy, it's kind of still a little bit niche there. But yeah, that's why I think Alan Wake 2 didn't cost, the budget was not overblown that much, even though I think they spent more than they wanted to. That's why for Alan Wake 2, I think they will need to reach around 10 million units sold to be profitable, because with the discounts and all that jazz, again, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to reach that. But yeah, the fact that it's exclusive, and I think it's going to be a permanent exclusive, at least Alan Wake 2 and Epic Game Store, it's not a good sign. Eventually, they will probably reach 5 million units in the upcoming 2 years, until at least Control 2 is launched. But yeah, they also launched a new FBC, Federal Bureau Control Firebreak, the squad multiplayer game that they are going to launch there, which was made with around 30 million euros budget. But it's not going to cost full price, and they estimate 3 million units is going to be a success if they manage to sell this amount of units. Again, they also are working on the remakes of Max Payne 1 and 2, which is going to be a tough job to do, because Max Payne 1 and 2, it's a little bit heavy on the themes, especially Max Payne 1. When you start the game, it's got a very dark opening scene, but yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to go about that. Hopefully, they maintain themselves very truthful for what kind of themes those games approach there. And again, they don't own Max Payne IP. It's from Rockstar. This is very old, Max Payne 1. I remember playing this game. It was like two CDs, if not mistaken, something like that. It's very, very, very old game. But yeah, it was very. I think it immortalized the slow mo scenes in gaming. They revolutionized at the time that mechanic there with the slow mo shooting kind of Matrix kind of style. It was before the Matrix, the Max Payne, if not mistaken. But yeah, um, good things. I'm hopeful they can uh, go about and surpass this Alan Make 2 and the interference of the third party consultancies from Sweet Baby Inc. and the such, and enter in a more. I have faith on Control 2 because the protagonist itself is already a female. But yeah, other than that, hopefully they can go about and see that the best option is don't be too much dependent on consultancies, because Sam Lake itself in trying to write stories for the games, he's been pretty successful, and I think he managed to be very have his own unique touch to a certain sense, the way he writes games. And he approaches very things through the paranormal, very Twin Peaks kind of a weird style that he has, and it's something that I think he should maintain, or at least the creative writers there should maintain this kind of weirdness, because it's a unique perspective when you play games, how the story develops. I think it lends itself to pretty good games. And then lastly, yesterday I didn't manage to do anything regarding the Game Awards stuff there. Again, I'm just going to briefly touch upon this because, again, for sure there is plenty of videos discussing this. As my opinion, again, first of all, I don't. Hopefully, Geoff Keighley will not be able to do the trademark of the Game Awards. I think it's completely silly here. I could understand trademark. I don't know, Geoff Keighley's the Game Awards, or the Game Awards by Geoff Keighley, or something in those lines. You cannot trademark common language, or else people will start just pick up two words or a combination of three words and trademark it, and nobody else can use this as a common language stuff. But I think the specificity of putting his name on the branding of the Game Awards might justify him to trademark that, the JF Keighley Game Awards or something in those lines. It's acceptable because it's very specific to his own person. I don't have any issues with that, but trademark as the Game Awards again, I think it's silly and abhorrent, and to a certain degree trying to enter in a lawfare kind of a state, so to forbid any kind of other Game Awards to exist there. But yeah, because again, as I mentioned, if you just trademark the Game Awards, you cannot even, for example, put the Kunamy Master Game Awards, the Side Scrollers Game Awards, or whatever kind of content creator that wants to do Game Awards. It is forbidden because it has the Game Awards already there. So it's impossible for somebody to do something regarding that. But yeah, game or gaming awards or whatever it is, it's common language, cannot be trademarked. At least that's my sense of things. But yeah, is this something specific to him? He can go forward. It's a way of him to protect himself from any kind of scammers or imposter or something like that. I don't have any issues with that. I also have an issue that supposedly some categories of the Game Awards, I think they shouldn't be shouldn't be done, and others that should have been added, specifically regarding in this case for Elden Ring, the Shadow of the Earth Tree. Again, I think it's at the same level of the base game there, but then again, I don't think that being included as the game of the year by itself, you cannot play Shadow of the Earth Tree without playing Elden Ring. So it's something that it cannot be done without the main component of the game itself. That's why it's called expansions or DLCs, so downloadable content. So it's an add to the base game. I think it's removing a place of a possible other nominee. Again, you can that can be another discussion. But yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think you might. It's preferable to add something expansion of the year, because I think DLC, it's very broad. Because DLC can be a customization pack, or can be something, or a season of a game, or multiplayer game, which by itself also doesn't make sense. But it's something that you can add and remove depending on the years and depending of the expansions. And when I call expansion, something in the lines of, in terms of what can add to the main game, like the Shadow of the Tree, or even, for example, the Witcher 3 the expansions, the Blood and Wine, and even the Sort of Stone, Arts of Stone, sorry. Something on those lines I can see having a category just for those kind of expansions level quality there. Other than that, DLC by itself, I don't see a need even to create a category, or to put it as nominee, especially on the Game of the Year thing here. Interesting enough, for all the praise that it had from the media, Dragon Age Veilguard doesn't appear anywhere, if not mistaken. I tried to check here on the list here. I didn't see anything regarding Dragon Age Veilguard, which is kind of weird, being a 9 out of 10 all over the place. Funny enough, Black Myth Wukong, which was basically a 7 out of 10 in most cases in the review things, and given that 90% of the weight of the vote, at least for the nominees, it comes from these outlet medias that review the game. So I'm a little bit surprised, to say the least, that they didn't put Dragon Age Veilguard, which is interesting by itself. But we saw Black Myth Wukong in some categories here as a Game of the Year. Again, I think Elden Ring Shadow of the Year 3 could be put in a different category, so you can make space maybe for Dragon Age, we don't know. Best direction, again, DLC is no. I think just that category is good by itself. Then we got best narrative, nothing here to add. Best art direction, again, we got the Shadow of the Tree again. Score music, I think it's fine. Sound design, best performance here, I got the Star Wars Outlaws. Again, I didn't play the game, but again, I'm not sure how good the performance was from the actors there, but okay, we got Star Wars Outlaws here. Games for Impact, again, this is a DEI shit show of a category here. You can see it by itself what it tried to do here by the games that they are putting here. Then you got Best Innovation Accessibility. I'm not sure how Star Wars was regarding this. Funny enough, as you can see, in terms of nominations, they can only put it here on best performance for the voice actor and accessibility, which I think is something important in games. Even again, accessibility is for people who have disabilities, whatever they are, physical, to play the game in a way that it doesn't dumb down for normal people, let's say, but people with disabilities can have extra helping accessibilities that manages for them to play at the same level of a normal person. If I'm making myself clear on that, I'm not sure if I'm passing the message right there. Then best ongoing game, interesting enough, Helldivers 2 is here. It started strong, but again, community management of that game was a shit show, plus the fact that Sony did the shenanigans with PSN. Funny enough, it's still here as a best ongoing game. Again, I'm not lighting too much because most of these games I did not play. And continuing here with the theme, best community support, Helldivers 2 is here. Again, I don't know why. I think this should be scratched out of this. It's been a shit show after launch in terms of support for the customers. Then we got No Man's Sky. Interestingly enough, it's been a while since the game has been launched, 2016, but they continuing outputting new free content for the game, and I think this is it's a good show of at least putting there here in terms of community support. Baldur's Gate 3 still coming strong here from the updates they've been doing, especially the latest one. I think it adds mod support, official mod support, which is good. Best independent game, again, I only remember seeing something regarding Lorelei and the Laser Eyes and Animal Well, a trailer or something like that. Then we got best debut indie. We got Pacific Drive. I think this might be the better one from what I've been covering lately this year. Mobile games I don't play. Best VR AR game I don't play. Also, content creator of the year I think can be scratched off. I don't know who pays attention to this. Best action game got Black Myth Wukong, which is good. Got best action adventure game. Again, you already have an action. Why do you want to put action adventure game? I don't know. You got Star Wars Outlaws here. I don't know how. Then we got best RPG, which is okay. I think again, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Tree should not be here. Again, is a expansion. Then you got best fighting game. Usually I don't play these ones. Best family game. I don't have any issues with these categories, but I didn't play any of those. And best sim strategy game, I think it's okay. Also, sports and racing, I don't have any issue. Then it comes to the esports stuff there. I think they're trying to be a thing still. The esports scene, esports game, it's kind of the same thing as the multiplayer game. Esports player, I don't know who pays attention to this. Esports team, same thing here. Then you got best adaptation. Again, I think this can be something that, depending on the year, where the media, the movies and series that come out throughout the year, I think it can be turned on and off depending on the transmedia stuff that comes out. But yeah, got this Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. I think was a shit show. Yakuza Like a Dragon. I think it's very recent. I don't think they had the complete season still. Knuckles, I think it's a movie. Fallout is a series. From what I heard, it's a very good one. And then Arcane, I think it's one of the better ones in terms of adaptations on animation. But I didn't see this one here. And then most anticipated game, again, my only thing here is Death Stranding 2 on the beach and Monster Hunter Wilds. GTA 6, I'm not sure about that. Ghost of Yotei, no thank you for what we've been seeing here. Even though the trailer, if we only had the trailer, I think a lot of people will be on board with this. But again, after the trailer launch, all the mess that we've been seeing since he came out, it was a shit show. And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I never played the Metroid Prime. Usually, it's not the my jam. Kind of Metroidvania kind of style of games. Usually, I don't play those much, but yeah. Basically, this is my overall thoughts on the Game Awards. My pet peeves or the things I have against it is the trademark stuff. The fact that the show usually now it's clocking on 3 hours with a lot of bloat in the middle. The some nominees I don't think are deserving here because I don't think expansion should be on any kind of game categories here except for a proper expansion of the year of some sorts. I prefer something like that as a category instead of trying to occupy a space from a game that might be worthy enough to be on that category there. Games on Impact can scratch off, and some other other categories can also be a scratch off there. But I understand some people pay attention to certain categories there, and it's their jam. What can I say? But yeah, other than this, probably I will not see it live. I usually don't have time to watch these things live, mainly because of the schedule difference, the time zone differences. Sorry, usually I cannot catch up this live. What I'm going to be interested here more on the Game Awards. Usually, it's not the categories; it's themselves. Usually, that doesn't tell me anything. It's more about the maybe some trailer here and there, some tease from a game that we are hoping to see or something like that. Other than that, I will not even try to watch it. I will wait for the day after. For sure, some sites will have the trailers all put together, and I will choose the ones that interested me the most. But yeah, basically in terms of news, this is it. Even though a couple of items, but sometimes I overextend myself. Again, on Epic Game Store, we got for free still Castlevania University Collection. It's still I don't know, a handful of games, OG ones from Castlevania related stuff there. It might be worth for you if you want to try out the OG's Castlevania there. I think it's always a good thing, especially when it's for free. Then on Steam, we got Lords of the Fallen, got 60% off on the deluxe edition, which is it's cheap now. Now it's most positive reviews. Yeah, it rise up a little bit more. I think they've been tweaking the game to improve the everything from performance to combat and the such there. I think it's a little bit better than from launch, that's for sure. Then you got also the Outer Worlds, 50% off on the base game, and then you got the non-mandatory corporate sponsor bundle. I think it's the better one, 61% off. Then you got the nioh. They are still on sale, 77% on the first one and 45% on the second one. They are both the complete editions. And then finally, we got XCOM 2 collection. This is the one that I recommend from XCOM 2 to buy everything in a package, mainly because of the mods. Some mods require you to have one or two. They basically all recommend War of the Chosen, or you need to have War of the Chosen installed. And it's also preferable to have all this the packs here because they usually on the mod side they sometimes change on the content that comes on those packs. But yeah, it's cheap. It's around 80% off on everything. I think it will give you around $15 everything, and it's still as a vanilla game. It still plays very well to this day, which is one of those XCOM qualities. It endures a lot of time as a game, and plus the mods have some visual upgrades, some gameplay modifications there that can improve the longevity of the game itself. And I think it's always a good game to have. Then we got on GOG, we got Children of Morta. This is the complete edition, 71% off. We got also Dredge, 40% off here on the standard edition. Then you got the Invincible, the base game here, 34% off. I think this is one of those, if you like Firewatch and the such, it's a good game. Then you got Wartales, kind of a Jagged Alliance kind of a game here. It's 40% off. And then we got Wasteland 2. This is Director's Cut Digital Deluxe Edition, 75%. And then Wasteland 3 Colorado Edition, 80% off. It's got all the Season Pass content here, which is pretty good here. But yeah, other than that, I will wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. Again, the extra support is more in line for me to be able to get backups of storage solution, to have backups of that stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.